Imagine if you are the man, if you're the last man to leave this place. Say you're Manuel Gonzalez, who happened also to be the first rescuer to go down and start this process 24 hours ago. How do you do it? How do you leave? Well, you take a well-deserved bow, because you and your team have accomplished something that few people ever imagined. As for the 33, how they will deal with the sudden fame and fortune, how they will manage the post-traumatic stress, all of that remains to be seen. But for tonight, they are free and they are surrounded by pure human affection, both near and far. And we begin tonight with a look back at the last 24 miraculous hours. And it is the best kind of suspense tale, scary as hell, but everyone gets out alive. Luis Urzua was the last of Los 33, the 33 as they are known. Deep underground, he hugged his rescuers goodbye before boarding the capsule that would take him to freedom. Above ground, they could hardly wait to see his face. One last cheer for their men and their country. And then, sirens screaming, he arrived. And the world was waiting for him. ¡Viva Chile, mierda! ¡Viva! Puro Chile! To the world, it will be remembered as a rescue executed on a grand scale. But to the families on the ground here, it was an infinity of little hours, waiting for the moment when their miner would emerge from underground. Cristina Nunez proposed to her longtime boyfriend, Claudio Yanez, while he was underground. He said yes. Next out was Mario Gomez, who dropped to his knees as a prayerful silence fell over the crowd. His wife pulled him to his feet for a hug. And also waiting was the eldest of his 6 brothers, Ronaldo. The emotion with him, he says, was endless. He said he thought he'd never see me again. By dawn, there had been more than a dozen successful rescues, but each time they started to pull another man up from underground, hearts tightened and hopes lifted. That churning wheel at the top of the mine, a promise of progress. That siren, a song to the family members waiting. Victor Zamora hugged his son even before he stepped out of the capsule, then a kiss for his pregnant wife, who he'd been writing poems for underground. There was Omar Regatas, jubilant even on a stretcher, waving the flag of his favorite soccer team. And Victor Segovia, known as the writer, who kept a journal of the miner's daily grind. He was embraced by the Chilean president, who said to him, "Welcome back to life." Dr. Barrios! But it wasn't just happy families. There was also a love triangle unfolding. Yoni Barrios, who served as a medic to the miners, had been underground but also in hot water. His wife discovered his girlfriend when she called to tell her that the mine had collapsed. He had asked for both women to wait for him above ground, so today the big question, which one would show? He looked a little startled to find only the girlfriend. His wife told a Chilean newspaper while she's happy he's alive, she wasn't interested in being there. Away from the rescue platforms, the remaining families gathered at Camp Hope. Things here have cleared out considerably since yesterday, as many of the families packed up their tents to follow their loved ones to the hospital. But we caught up with Alberto Avalos, the uncle of not one but 2 of the trapped men. Last night, his family celebrated as his nephew Florencio was the first miner to emerge. Now that you've seen some of the rescues and the day has progressed, how do you feel about your other nephew? Are you worried? Are you less worried about your other nephew? Just because he's the second, he says, doesn't mean we're going to celebrate less. And celebrate they did. When around supper time, Renan Avalos arrived above ground. And a dramatic moment this evening, during the extraction of Franklin Lobos, rescuers quieted the crowd and yelled down to him, "Franklin, ¿cómo vienes?" "Bien, bien, gracias." When he called back up, "I'm okay," the crowd went wild. He and the other rescued men are whisked off to the hospital for evaluation. The Minister of Health says the miners are too euphoric to sleep. They're not willing to rest, he said, until the last one of them is rescued. So tonight, with the mine shaft finally empty, maybe they can get some sleep, knowing that their dreams of fresh air and freedom have been realized at long last.